Yo. What's good, everyone? How's everyone doing? Looks brighter in here than normal. Is this light on too bright? It's nicer for me. I don't know. I'll get the lighting right one of these times. What if I just blind myself? How's this? Yeah, I think I like this better. Yo, what's going on? What's going on? What's up, DK99? Now fine. How about you? Yeah, fine as well. Can't complain. Glad it's the weekend. What's up, NMBB from YouTube? Thank you for renewing your Prime subscription. You're on a 2-month subscription streak. That's very exciting. That's awesome. Let's see. Yo, what's up, 5-4? Sick name. Yeah, we're here. Let's see. G'day, Dave. Awesome. What's up, Charles? How you doing, man? How's your weekend? Yo, just started. So hopefully it'll be good. Plan on just chilling and hanging out. That's all I want to do. Maybe go snowboarding. That could be fun. I went on Wednesday. It's super fun. Oh my god. Alright, what are we doing? I fell ill during Advent of Code and missed half the challenges. When you say Advent of Code, do you mean while I was doing them, or were you doing them? Because if you were doing them, don't worry about it. You can do Advent of Code whenever you want. So you could go back right now and start doing them. I wish it didn't show this message. Okay, cool. What should we do? I guess we should get, yeah. Bunch of people on my stream like music, so let me get my music program open. I haven't played with this in a while. There we go. Nice, we got that open. It's been a long time since you streamed. I know, it's been about, I think a little bit over 2 weeks, right? Yeah, I'm glad to be back at it. Took much needed time off. Was out of town for like a week. That was good. And then kind of just been chilling, laying low the last week, so. I intend to pick back up soon. You should. They were a ton of fun. I really like this year's challenges. I still have some more work to do, so I've been going through editing my streams where I solved all of them, and I have a couple of videos I want to make. So I think I just uploaded day 10, which was cool because that was one of my races with Bad Cop. Couldn't think of it. I was like Bash Cop, Bad Cop. She goes by both. So that's fun to edit those. So I have day 11 and 12 to edit next, which was also the race ones. Really fun. But editing them is really cool because what I'm doing is I'm going through and cutting out all the parts where I get the answer. I'm like, yes, that's awesome. And I'm going to do like a super cut of it and upload it to like the Advent of Code Reddit, I think. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. Can you do a stream with the 1,000 beers face filter all the time? First of all, it's 1,000,000 beers. Secondly, it's not a filter. My face just does that. So I should though. Oh man, I've been thinking about it. So I'm thinking about changing my profile picture, the picture I use for everything. So if you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, if you're on my Instagram, it's that profile picture of me. I'm thinking about finally changing it to something else. Like I said, I've said this in the past, if I change it, it's going to stay like that for a year because it's my branding. So I have to be very, very careful when I do decide to change it. But I've been thinking about some other ones, and let me tell you, the 1,000,000 beers face, even though it's a joke and it's like, it's ridiculous, I just love it. I just absolutely love it. There's something so funny about it. I should actually pull up what I'm working on because I think you all would appreciate it. Yeah, oh my god, in the Twitch chat you can see the emotes. Like, they're just, I don't know, man. They're hilarious. I think they're actually hilarious because they're just insane. Where did I put that picture? Is it one of my emotes? Oh God, it is. Oh, this is incredible. I'll share my screen in a second. I'll show you all what I have going on here. I have a document where I'm checking to see like what would make sense for a profile picture. What kills me. It kills me. Let me save this as 2025 profile pic, and then I'll share my screen so you all can see what I'm working on. Let's see. I use the same pic that I've had for over 20 years. It would feel weird to switch now. Yeah, I know that feeling, and if it's not a picture of like who you are or your face, I completely get it because that's your branding at that point. But for me, like it is my face, even if it's filtered. So like I should probably update it at least once a year because like I look different. Like the picture I used 3 or 4 years ago, my hair was like very short. It wasn't this long. So little things like that. I like to keep it somewhat up to date. This one's killing. I should show you guys what I'm working on. All right, let's. I'll show you all what I'm working on. Let's see. Is this okay? This is Safari that's being shared. Let's turn all this off, and let's get the whatever this program is called. Let me save this. Make sure we're all good. Okay, how do I want to share this? Let me figure out how to actually share this program. Can I duplicate this? Copy, right click, paste reference? No, I'd like to paste a duplicate of it. This is annoying. Is it desktop capture, video capture? What would it be called? Dude, OBS is so wild. Let's call this pixel meter. And then that sucks. Oh, you updated your profile picture? Nice, nice. Love it. All right, so this is a wait, how do we do this? There we go. That's what I wanted. This is a scuffed layout. But yeah, I'm working on a new profile picture, so I'm thinking like I have this one, which is just actually absurd. Listen, yeah, I'm bad at sharing my screen, desktop environments, all that stuff. Yeah, come on. This is a 1-to-1 match. It totally is. 100%. Incredible. Incredible. How do we do if I change the background color? Do I have to just put like a layer behind it? If I take this layer, I drag it. No, I don't want to invert that mask. Let's make a new grouping here. And let's put a new layer in that grouping. Come on. What is happening? Nothing's happening how I want it to happen here. There we go. Now we could take this, we could fill it in with whatever color we want. I guess we could do like a gradient fill or something. Emacs probably has a magic key to share the screen. Yo, I wouldn't even doubt that. Can you make this into ASCII, then use it as your neo-fashion? You know what? Honestly, that'd be sick. That'd be sick to have like an ASCII version of my face. That'd be awesome. How do I do this? Can I just draw a shape, right? Where's the shape tool? I'm not a designer, if you guys can't tell. Absolutely not a designer. Here we go. Draw a regular shape, add a fill, turn off the stroke, and then we can add an oval mask. And there we go. Now we can get an idea of what the profile... It looks like I'm coming out of the circle. It looks terrible. Oh my god, I'm having way too much fun here. Yeah, exactly. Get ysap.sh/headshot. Just start coding. What's going on here, man? Listen, I'll get to it. Also, I might not even be coding that much. We're going to be talking about code, but probably not writing too much code today, so don't get your hopes up for that. Oh, this is beautiful, guys. Oh my god, look at this. Is incredible. What kind of gradients do we want here? Oh yeah, look at this. Beautiful. I mean, come on. I feel like I have to go with this face, right? Oh, this is killer. This is awesome. This is awesome. Yeah, I won't I won't do this too long because it's so stupid. You look like Jesus. The picture of me or me actually right now? No difference. Exactly. It's just... I'll take 1,000,000 beers, please. I need the music too to go with it. Do I have that on deck? Can I just pull that up real quick? I probably do, right? Knowing me, I shared it on Instagram a couple days ago. Oh yeah. They do look the same. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. So dumb. It's so dumb. So yeah, let's see what we have here. We have this one. We have this one, which I just took out of a stream. I don't know if this feels like too cheesy. Like, I don't know. Kind of feels cheesy. Kind of feels like, I don't know. I kind of feel a little bit like a jerk in this one. And then we have this one. This one's actually pretty cool, but they're all just like pictures of me. And obviously we're comparing with whatever you guys already see. So I got to figure out which one I think looks good and figure out which one I want to stick with. But I mean, I feel like the people are going to want this one. I feel like this one, if I make a poll on any sort of social media, the people are going to pick this one 100% hands down. Come on. Oh my god. All right, we'll stop doing this and we'll actually start doing what we came here to do. But yeah, I just want to let you all know what I'm working on. And if I start asking people to vote, I know what's going to happen. I know what you all are going to vote for. I know which one's going to win. Like, come on. I already know. Oh, man. Let me get my bearings on. Let's see. Okay. I've already made up my mind. Yeah. I think I have. Because I thought maybe I was like, maybe this year I'll be a little more serious and I won't do it. But it's it's so funny. I think I have to do it. The 1,000,000 beers face. Oh my god. It's too funny. I think I have to go with it. I'm 90% decided now that I'm going with that. Where I was like 50% before this stream. Once I start getting positive reaction, it's over, man. I gotta roll with it. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to pull this up. Okay, and then let's pull up my terminal. Cool. Awesome. And then we can actually get started on stuff. Have you had mead? What do you mean mead? Is that the mead? Is that like a terminal thing, or are you just talking about like straight up alcohol? Because if you're talking about the latter, then no. If you're talking about the former and it's some terminal program, also no. That's cool that all my windows just flew away there. It's awesome. All right, so what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. Today on this stream, I probably won't cut this up into a YouTube video, so it's going to be very informal, this stream, which is really nice. That's how all my streams should be. We are going to get started on something that I want to get done for 2025, which is I want to make a bash course. Now, if this is, if you've been following me for a while, you've probably heard me say this and talk about it, all the blah, 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 blah. If you're new here or you're just watching this for the first time, I will let you know what my plans are. Here are my plans. In 2024, I created an Instagram and a YouTube account called You Suck at Programming to start piggybacking off of content I was making for TikTok. I made this account in around April, and in 6 months on Instagram, I gained 170,000 followers and I gained about 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I blew up way more than I could have ever expected. And one of the common things I got from people was, do you have a course? Do you sell a course? Can I pay you money? And listen, I love money. Go ahead and pay me. But the answer to the second question is no, I don't have a course. I'm not a grifter. I'm not selling, you know, let me back up. Not everyone who sells a course is a grifter. That is not what I'm trying to insinuate. If you run a course, you have a boot camp, I think that's totally cool. But I think there are people who use that as an avenue to rip people off. I do think that happens, but there are totally legitimate people out there doing boot camps, doing courses, and I think that's awesome. More power to them. All for people making money. Like, I am pro that, you know, listen, man, I don't hate capitalism. You have some knowledge and you want to sell it and you want to do something that's of value to people and people can freely exchange money for goods and services. Awesome. If everything's on the up and up, hey, I'm all for it. Support it. Love it. Think it's great. So what I want to do is I want to make a bash course because people have asked me about it. They're like, hey, Dave, you know a lot about bash. And I always respond the same way. How dare you think you can speak to me? So I have to just stop. I can't take anything seriously. Yeah, so I want to make a bash course and I've thought about how I would do it. So a couple of the thoughts I had were like, there's like Coursera and different websites where you can upload courses to them and they make money and pay you money. There's other places where I could just go sell a course and maybe I hosted some online website or something. Here is where I've landed because my idea is this. Yes, I like money, but I want to grow an audience first. And one of the best ways to grow an audience is to get content out there. Just be making content and letting everyone see your beautiful face 24/7. I mean, you guys already know what my new profile picture is. Okay, that face is beautiful. It will get. I'm at 95%. I'm going to use that as my profile picture now. Okay, so my decision is for my course, it will be a free YouTube video on my channel that anyone can watch. There will be ads running on it. I do monetize all my YouTube videos. I don't make a ton off ad revenue, but that'll be like the only way I'll make money directly off of it. We'll talk about that. But it will be a YouTube video. I'm guessing, I haven't put any thought into it. I haven't created an outline. I don't even know what will be in this course yet, but I want to do like a beginner's guide. Like you've never touched a terminal before. I will show you what the terminal looks like, how to get comfortable with bash, and I will build you up to very advanced techniques. I'm guessing it will be 4, 5, 6 hours of content. That's just a guess, but because, you know, I haven't actually started doing anything yet. That's what this stream is for, where we outline it and we come up with what's going to be in the course. So I'm guessing it'll be a lot of content. Maybe I'll reach out to other people I know who do bash really well. Like, you know, I've talked to Bad Cop before. She's awesome. See if people want to, you know, cameo in it, which would be super cool. But yeah, I'm thinking it'll be this style format. It'll be me. Everyone knows me and loves me because I'm the best. So it'll be like, yo, what's up, everyone? Today I'm going to teach you how to use a terminal. Like, don't be afraid. It's okay. Like, you might be nervous, and that's okay. That's how it is when you first use a computer, don't really know what you're doing. I'm going to show you how to make this thing right here not scary. And I'm actually, at the end of this course, I'm going to make you feel empowered, so you want to reach for it. That's the goal of my course. It'll be focusing on bash specifically. I don't know if I'll do it on Linux or I'll do it on Mac or I'll even target an operating system specifically. I'll try to keep it very generic, but I think using concrete examples is good. So I'll probably do it on Mac just because that's what I have here and it'll be easy to record. Yeah, that's my plan. So when the course is done and it's all said and done, it'll be a YouTube video, probably with multiple chapters in it, but it will just be one big YouTube. You can go there with your favorite YouTube downloading program and just download the video. I will encourage you to do it. I'll also encourage you to watch it to give me ad revenue, but I will encourage you to go download this so you have it. If there is materials that comes with it, it will be in a GitHub repo, and I will teach you how to clone that as part of the course. So I'll teach you how to download any like homework and stuff that I could possibly give with it. Completely free, YouTube, blah, 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 blah. I assume the video will be chapters. So if it is like broken into chapters, like maybe 10, 15 minute sections, or lectures or whatever you want to call them, I will also upload those videos broken into sections in a playlist, because I know some people like that format. I personally like the one big video thing, but you know, I want to be as approachable to anyone who wants to learn. That is my plan. That is what I want to do. That's what I'm going to create. My goal is to have this done by 2025. My goal is to have it done by early 2025. First half of the year goal, probably, you know, release May or June. That's my goal. I don't know if I'll necessarily hit that. And then we'll have to figure out how to advertise it and get people to actually go like check it out and stuff. This would be something that I would want to like, you know, share on Reddit or share. I would like to get bigger creators in the tech space to watch this, maybe even on their own streams. Cause like, I'm fine with that. You want to stream it to your audience. That's awesome. I don't, cool. Just want to get my name and my face and my cadence out there. So yeah, I would encourage, like, you know, hopefully we can share it with bigger creators and maybe they'll want to watch even like parts of it, or just cut it up into, you know, useful tidbits, YouTube shorts, reels on Instagram, TikToks, whatever. That's my goal. That's what I want to create. It will be completely free. There will of course be a donation link for people who just want to pay for it. There's already a donation link. I have a Ko-fi account, Kofi. It's on my website. People can donate for that. That's just if you like it and you want to do a one-off payment. I may start a Patreon. This will not be required for the course. This is completely second to that. If I paywall content in the future, it won't be educational content. It'll be like, I'll answer your questions directly or have like hangout sessions. I'm not going to paywall educational content. That's a decision I made for this channel. That is what we're doing here today. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully we understand what's going on here. I missed out on a couple chats. I'm going to scroll through and see what's going on. Let's see. I'd love something like Bashlings, Rustlings to learn some Bash. I've heard of Rustlings. I don't even know what it is, to be honest. I assume it's some way to learn Rust, but yeah. I've only ever heard the name. My school sometimes feels like a grifter. Yeah, I've gotten people saying that before. You should post your Patreon if you have one. I don't see it in the links. I do not have a Patreon. I've been thinking about starting one, as I've mentioned before, but I do not have one currently. And like I said, if I did have a Patreon, I think I would do like for different tier levels, like special room in my Discord. Maybe I would do like a monthly hour-long hangout session on Discord. Maybe you could ask me a question and I would record a video the same way I do for Instagram and TikTok and answer it. Some people seem to like that. Yeah. Let's see. Tears of Joys? I hope so. I hope you have Tears of Joy. Have you seen Over the Wire Bandit? Something like that for real beginners and more Bash folks would be cool, or even a Rustling type thing would be amazing. Okay, so I gotta look up Rustlings, and Over the Wire, I've heard of it. I think I looked into it. It was like a hacking thing, right? You like SSH in a machine and it's like a capture the flag type of thing. If we're thinking about the same thing, yeah, I think that's definitely really cool. I love that interactive kind of learning things. Like, videos are cool, but you gotta get your hands on a terminal if you're gonna get comfortable with it. Don't give fish, teach us how to do fishing. That's my goal, 100%. Will this include a small guide on editing the text in the terminal? Yes. I won't go into detail on like, here's advanced Vim and Nano and Ed and stuff like that, but I will show you like, because I plan on making this accessible to like everyone. So my goal would be like, I'll show like a folder, like an actual GUI navigational folder. Be like, here's an empty folder. Let's create a file from the terminal. Look how the file pops up in the terminal. It's empty. Let's open the file in our text editor on our computer, our graphic user interface text editor, save it, then we can cat that file. Now we can Vim that file. Like, I'm going to show the back and forth between files and the terminal, because a lot of people I meet when they're first learning, their file system and their terminal, two separate things in their mind. They have the GUI version of the world and they have their terminal, and those represent two different worlds. I have to show them that they're identical. You're viewing the same world. You're just representing the data differently. And I think that's an eye-opening thing to realize about computers, where it's like, no, the data is all the same. You're just choosing how to view and represent it differently. And that's how patterns emerge and things like that. If you have access to Windows 11, I would advise using WSL on it to get access to Bash. Yeah, I should. This is good stuff to note. I want to make this accessible to everyone, so I won't be doing Windows in my course, but I will tell people like, hey, to get Bash going, like to get started, WSL is probably the way to do it if you're on Windows. If you're on Mac, you will have Bash installed by default, but it won't be what you jump into, and I can explain those differences and then show how to get Bash installed. Later in the course, I'll probably show how to install Bash version 4 and above, so we get newer features than what Mac ships with. Yeah. Rustling is a series of exercises, all of which have bugs you have to fix. Your progress is tracked by that program, where each exercise starts with the errors by the compiler. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, that's super neat. Especially with Rust, too, because like some of those error messages are super useful. But some of them can be scary if you've never seen them before. So, yeah, that's fun stuff. That sounds really awesome. All right. So, we're gonna lock in, and we're gonna get started in 1 second. Buddy's texting me. Let's see what he says. No, I'll look at that later. Cool. So, to get started, we're in my dev folder. Yeah, what's up, Cody? I never caught you live before. Oh, man, you missed out on my Advent of Code streams then. But yeah, welcome. We won't be writing too much code today, but we're going to be working on what will eventually be a course, which is a series of videos that I'll be making for my YouTube, which will be super cool. So, yeah, let's jump into it. What should we call it? We'll just call it Bash Course for now. We don't have a good name for this yet, and I'll eventually put this on my GitHub. This is where the outline will be. This might be where I put the homework and stuff, but we're just creating a directory to keep track of work. So we can do stuff here. Why are you saying terminal to me? I have the terminal open. That's on. I have the terminal open on purpose. GNU Bash version 3.2. You weren't wrong. Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. I'm on my Apple, or I'm on my Mac right now. So you can see, yeah, we got Darwin here. If I echo shell, opt homebrew bin bash. I actually don't remember. Did I use change shell? I think you used change shell. I should relearn how to do this to tell people how to change their shells. But yeah, there is bin bash, and can you do this? Yeah. 3.2.57. That probably is like the last one that was available before it was changed to the GPL version 3 instead of the GPL 2. So it's just like licensing fun stuff to worry about. So, but when I go over the Bash course, I'm going to be holding people's hands as they walk into it. So I'm going to be explaining terminals and stuff. It doesn't really matter. Even if they're using ZSH, I'm going to go over the basics, like you run a program and you get your output. No, actually, let me back up. We should figure that out. That's what we should be doing today. Let's make a readme.markdown. We should figure out what I should be going over the course. Should I assume the person knows nothing about the terminal and I'm going to teach them everything they need to know? Like, this is your one-stop guide to using the terminal and Bash? Should it just be a terminal course? Should it just be a Bash course? Because in my head, when I think of a Bash course, I assume the person already knows how the terminal works. But that's probably not the case. And if I want to reach a wide audience, I should probably teach everything. I should probably show someone, like, here's what a terminal looks like. Terminal runs a shell. There are many different shells out there. Bash is the one we're going to focus on, but you can learn other shells and kind of maybe speed through it a little bit. I don't know, but that's what we're going to figure out. So we can write this down. Bash course. Let's see what it is, who it's for, what it'll cover, what you'll learn. So what I'm doing now is I'm writing down questions that will eventually be on, like, this will be what we sell the course with. And what I mean by that is like how you convince someone to actually take this course. How we're going to convince people is actually a YouTube thumbnail, because it's going to be YouTube. Like, let's be real. That's the actual way we're doing this. But imagine we were selling this course. These are the questions of what we need to know in order to sell it. What is this thing? Who is it for? Excuse me. What you need to take this course and what you'll learn. Yeah. What is this? Who is it for? What you'll learn and what you need. Cool. This is how you should sell things. Explain what it is. Some people might tell you to put this at the top, but I prefer the what it is at the top. Yeah, let's see. Let me scroll up in chat. I've been missing out on some stuff. Let's see. How to make a Confluence document and Jira via bash scripting. More practical work done. I hope you understand the feeling. Yeah, that's a very high level and abstract thing. I think I should talk about stuff like that. Like, obviously, Jira is way outside the scope of bash. But if the goal is to be terminal for people, I can show people, here are real world things you can accomplish in the terminal. Like, you use Jira at work, here's how to run a command that will automatically find all your tickets and display them by the last time someone's commented on. Things like that might be useful for people. If you're doing Mac specific upgrade video, then I think Windows specific installation of WSL, even if you get someone else to do it or link to an existing one. Yes, that's a really good point. If I have like, imagine a book. If I have footnotes, I could probably even like link to other people's videos. If it's going to be a course, I should probably have all the videos. But yeah, if I can find like volunteers to be like, okay, like here's how to get your WSL set up. Dave, why didn't you do this? Because I have no idea how to use Windows. That's why. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think basic terminal experience can be expected, but doesn't hurt to have a refresher either way. I think you're right. And I think at the end of the day, like, let's be realistic. If you click on, imagine you click on a 6-hour video called Everything You Want to Learn About Bash, or you need everything you need to learn about Bash, whatever. We'll come up with the title and stuff later. I don't even worry about the title until I have the video done, which some people say is backwards. I don't care. That's how I do it. I think if you've clicked on that video and you know this is a 0 to hero, but you know you're already at like 25%, you can use the scroll thing. You can use the scrubber. You can find where I'll put chapters there. You can skip the beginning if you want to. Like, if you clicked on this, you know a little bit and you're a big boy, you can figure it out. I think that's how I'll approach it. You're a good teacher. Would be great for brand new devs. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, cool. Just scroll all the way to the bottom. Nice. You could do a prologue starter video, which is general introduction to terminals and shell environments. I think that's a good idea. And in fact, outside of the scope of the course, I want to do a video like that. Like, literally for my YouTube channel, I want to do like, hey guys, here's the command line versus the terminal emulator versus a bash. Why are there so many different names? What are all these things? Let's understand them. I think a video like that could do really well. Remember to include the information available on the bash man page. Man bash gives all the information to supplement his course. 100,000%. One of the things I'll do is empower people. So the way I like to approach things is I'll ask a question and then I'll solve it. I'll be like, okay, so how would we do this? Okay, here's what we need to do in bash to solve this. We're going to use the double angle brackets. And then I can be like, okay, and if you want to learn more about these, here's how you do it. You could run help, double angle bracket, and then learn more. So like, I like to show a new thing, show how to use it, and then explain how to get more information about it. So the user feels empowered at the end to like keep going. Let's see. I think a section on teaching how to read a man page. Yeah, like with the angle bracket. Yeah, 100%. Yep. Yep, I don't need his course because I use Rust on Arc, by the way. Oh, Arc. Wow, cringe misspelling. Oh my God. Cringe. Although I'm going to assume you meant Arc as in using standard sync Arc in Rust. So actually you're just maintaining an atomic reference counter so you can pass some shared data between threads or tasks. That's what I'm going to assume you meant. Let's see. I never thought I can actually look at my Jira tickets from the terminal. That sounds so useful. Oh, 100% you can. Absolutely. What's the billion beer face? Oh, you'll have to wait till my new profile picture comes out. Don't worry about it. You'll see it soon enough. Most bash courses on YouTube are already beginner bash courses, even the ones that say advanced. Oh, okay. I'll be honest. I haven't even looked at any of the existing ones. I've never really sought them out. So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So here's the thing. I was on the fence on if I was going to do beginner stuff or not, but I'm leaning towards yes, I think it'll be useful, but I'm not on the fence about doing advanced stuff. I will get advanced. And if you've watched my channel before, I get advanced with bash. We are going to get very advanced. I'm going to be honest, at towards the end of the video, we might even be pulling up the source code to talk about how pulling an item out of an array in bash requires a linear time lookup. Like, we might even get that deep into it if we want. Yeah, it could be kind of fun. He got me. Arch. Yeah, dude. Time to rm-rf/. 100%. Didn't use Mac and Solaris. I'm not sure what you're asking me. Do I use a Mac? Yes, this is a Mac right here. And I use a variant of Solaris. I guess technically on my server, I use Illumos, ILLUMOS. So that was forked off of Open Solaris. Oh yeah, I think we have to get deep. I think that's the way to do it. Like towards the end of the advanced stuff, like I'm going to show, because actually here's a cool thing you can do. There's a Rust crate out there which will allow you to compile Rust code into a shared object file, so you actually get an SO file, and then we can load that dynamically. Oh wait, I had to double check. It might not be an SO file. It might actually just be like .a. Whatever. Regardless, I'm getting into implementation specific deal. We can compile Rust into a format that we can then load in dynamically at runtime into Bash and call compiled code, which is awesome. And we can literally make Rust built-ins. And Dave, why wouldn't you just fork the external Rust command? Because if it's built in, now we have access to things like arrays. So technically speaking, I could write a Rust built-in where you could call this Rust program with the name of a variable and it will JSON it for you. And not some like cringe way of putting quotes around it. No, like we could actually read it into a vec of C strings, turn those C strings into UTF-8 strings, run it through Saturday JSON and actually get a proper serialized version of it. Like there are things we could do, which would be really, really, really cool. In the Twitch chat, have you read Unix for the Beginning Mage? It's what my professor gave his Unix fundamental course. I love it. No, I've never heard of that. That sounds interesting. That might be useful for this course. No, I've never heard of that book, but that sounds super useful. Is it newer or older book? I'm curious about when that came out. Were you alive when Unix first came out? I don't think I was. When did Unix come out? 70s? I wasn't alive. I'd be totally down for the course. Have you thought about an ebook? I would also be all over that. I've thought about that. Writing's not my strong suit. Maybe, possibly, but video would be my first thing that I would go for. I wouldn't even think about any sort of ebook till after that. Let's see. I'll always guarantee a second date if she's the one. Yeah. Talking about Bash is definitely first date material. Yep. Take it from me. It works super well. I say that jokingly, but fellas, listen up. If you are incredibly passionate about something and knowledgeable in it, yes, that is extremely attractive. Take it from many women who have told me that. They're like, oh my God, yes, talk about what you like all day, even if I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Sure, you got it. How to make a Jira ticket and edit it or make Confluence documents via bash scripting, like for vulnerability scan with Nexus IQ check for my projects Git, which the backend and front end engineers are updating. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, like really novel ways of stringing tools together. That's the beauty of Unix, 100%. Like I'm all for that. I think that's super cool. You take small utilities and you put them together and you create like a new novel experience. Like it's super cool. That's Unix at its heart. Yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's see what's going to go on here. So we have a Bash course. What it is, so these questions are going to be asked to me. I'm answering the question of what it is and who it's for. This might not necessarily be what I put in the description or how I sell it. So this is different than like, a brochure for advertising. So this is not what it is. This is a fundamental Bash course. Well, one will learn blah, blah, blah. No, this is a long video. Like this is for me. We're talking to me right here. So just so you have an idea of what's going on. It's a short read, 100 pages, and end to end was written in 2005. Okay. Give me a second. Actually, let's just do this. I'm going to take some notes here. Let's see. Voltage, GP, in Twitch. Check out Unix for the Beginning Mage. Awesome. I want to write that down so I don't forget it. Let's see. Someone else mentioned that the other courses were mostly beginner. I don't remember who mentioned that. I'd like to credit if I possibly can, but yeah, I'd be curious about that one. But I mean, I'll just check out other courses to get an idea of depth. Okay. What do you think of Zig? Any opinion? No opinions. Haven't checked it out. I've looked at it a little bit, and the syntax is wild to me. Everyone's like, oh, it's just like C. I'm like, this doesn't look like C to me. But that's it. That was like a cursory glance. I haven't put much effort into it. What is it? No, I don't like this. Yeah. I don't know why I'm formatting this. I'm never going to render this as Markdown. Okay. Do I have MDCat? No, but I have bat. Bat's good enough. Yeah, that's fine. Sick is like C if C wasn't C at all. That's a wild statement. All right. What is it? A long video broken into chapters that will live on YouTube for free. Any supplemental material of my own for it will live on GitHub in a repo specific to this course. That sounds right. Let's see. Who it's for. The absolute beginner and the person who wants to look inside bash.c and everyone in between. This means we'll start by holding your hand and get you from 0 to hero in the first 80% of the course. Let's say first 90% of the course. The final 10% will be for, no, you know what? Actually, let's do this. Let's do this. 0 to 100% from absolute beginner to proficient and comfortable on a CLI only interface. That's a stretch. And then 101% plus, dig into the source code, look at how things are implemented, complex data structures in Bash. Basically how to think of Bash as a programming language more than a scripting language. I think that kind of sums up how I feel and what I want out of this, if that makes sense. Yeah. So, I like what we have right now. Has anyone read Unix and Linux Systems Administration Handbook? I don't think I have. Yeah. I like the documentation. How Zig isn't coupled to a package manager. Oh, Zig doesn't have its own built-in package manager? Because I know like Rust has cargo, and I think that's kind of a strength that they're so coupled together. Not that I'm like necessarily for or against one. I can see cases for either. But that's definitely one of Rust's powers. It's interesting. One of Rust's strengths is that it's coupled with cargo, and one of C's strengths is that it's not coupled with anything. Like they're not inherently good or bad. It's just like they're a language specific for purposes for whatever. That's such a jump statement. They're specific for purposes. Like I don't know. They each have their own role in my head. Definitely some overlap, of course, but yeah. Yeah, go enjoy your dinner. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Also, yeah, if you're watching on Twitch and you like what you see, go ahead and hit that follow button. If you don't like what you see, I completely understand because this is probably a boring stream. Hopefully I'm at least entertaining. If you're watching on YouTube and you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to grow that number. I think I'm at 18,000 subscribers? I don't know. But yeah. So I also play piano on here sometimes. Okay. Nice piano. Thank you. Thank you. You're subscribed? Listen, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Anyone who's subscribed on YouTube, you are the GOAT right now. Because that's awesome. That number going up, what's up? Love it. Let me do something real quick. What does this button do? Preview off. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Let me get this screen over here. Okay. Let's see. When will the course be out? I don't know. I'll tell you my goal. My goal is 2025. That's my officially stated goal, is it will be out in 2025. My goal to you guys today is my personal goal is to get it out before the first half of 2025. So May, June, sometime around then. That's my goal. Let's see. Who taught you Bash, or how'd you get so proficient in it? Just lots of reps. I would love to sit here and talk about it. Believe me, like that sounds like I'm just trying to like avoid the question. No, I have to lock in and focus on this course right now. But there is a video on my YouTube channel called like Why Bash. I think it's one of my more popular videos. You might be able to find it that way. But go to my YouTube. You're on my YouTube. Go to my YouTube. There's a video called like Why Bash, and I explain why I'm proficient in Bash and sort of the story from there. So yeah, let's see. My man, yo, what's up? What's up? Welcome. Let's see. Don't know if you've answered this. It's okay to show things that's not production ready, but if everything is, it won't be too useful. And yes, I'll donate to this as it's important to value good education. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I'm streaming the creation of this course. Like, I don't know what you're referring to specifically, but yeah, like I'm absolutely streaming the creation of this course. Like it's from zero to when this course is ready. So I'm totally happy to show behind the scenes stuff. Like I don't mind that. I love showing how nothing can turn into something. I think that's really, really cool to see. Let's see. Check this out. Let's go to the big camera, and then we click this little button right here. There we go. Now we got the vibes. You're a real G major. Nope, that's a G minor, isn't it? Wait. Oh, that's a song. What's a good song in G major to play? Oh, that's just a G major chord, but I don't know if this counts. What is that? Something like that. I don't remember how to play it exactly, but it's something like that. The Van Halen songs go really hard on the piano. Like right now, oh my god, this one's so much fun to play. That's just super fun to play. Yeah, let's get back into it. All right, time to lock in. Let's see. Just a single video, not a series. Yeah, I kind of explained that. It will be a long video broken into chapters. So chapters, think of chapters like, you know, a series of videos. Here's what I'm imagining, and you know what? Good idea that you said this. Let's create an example. 6-hour video total, 20-minute sections equals what? 3 times 6? So 18 chapters. Something like that is what I'm imagining. Not that this will necessarily be, these numbers are just an example. But yeah, that's how I'm envisioning it. So it'll be one big video on YouTube that you can watch, but I'll also upload them separately because I want it to be available in ways that people can appreciate. So yeah, it'll be a series you can find through a playlist. But also here's your one YouTube video where it's like, I will teach you everything you need to know about the shell. That's my goal. I've never seen anyone program with a piano. Yeah, me neither. I should try and wire that up. Did I mention I'm tone deaf? I'm sorry to hear that. Let's see. Let's hear some eruption. Oh, I gotta grab my guitar. It's over there. Ugh. Who else hate that? Not the piano. I'm glad you specified. It'd be kind of funny though. Could you go into what a shell actually is? From my new perspective, it's like a foreman and upper management rolled into one. Yeah, I will definitely do that. That will be something that we'll cover in the guide as to what a shell is. I think it's important to kind of talk about a REPL, REPL, read, eval, print, loop, understanding that basic state machine of the computer and how you communicate with a computer. I think an apt analogy will probably be a chat bot or a chat, where the computer, you go to, like, people probably have done some sort of like chat bot or AI or whatever, where it's waiting for you to type something, you type something, and then it gives you a response. Terminal's very similar to that. Just real simple read, eval, print, loop. That's what the computer is doing. So yeah, I'll talk about that. Maybe you could take some inspiration from Free Code Camp and how they summarize stuff. Like, their course is not their content yourself. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because truly I'm just using the word course, and in my mind I'm just creating a video, so... Let's see. Elaborate the 101% -1. It's for the people who want to go. Actually, I mean, a better way. I view it as like 101%. You could view it as 100% plus. Basically, this is like in my course. If my course is 6 hours long, then probably 5 hours and 30 minutes, 5 hours of it will be getting you from 0 to absolutely proficient. You are done. You're done. The last hour is the DLC. Maybe it'll be its own video. Again, none of this stuff is set in stone. Maybe it'll be its own video where it's like, okay, you took my course. Get ready for the real advanced stuff. Like, you want to go, you've taken my course and you're a hero now. Let's go. Like, let's go. It's like, yeah, that'll be the extreme version of it. So maybe it'll be its own video. Maybe it'll be at the end. Who knows? Who knows? What are some interesting facts about using bash on a non-GNU Linux system? I know bash regex depends on the system libc. Any other such stuff you encountered? That's interesting. I don't actually... I'd have to think about that. There's nothing that I encounter. Like, right now I'm on my Mac running it, but I don't have any issues with that. But that's a really good point, because, there's totally, like, dynamically linked things that bash is relying on. Like, I don't even know if printf works exactly the same. I assume it does, but... no, nothing I have encountered, but I'm sure there are some if you go digging enough. Really good question. MIDI keys to Vim motions. Hey, that'd be kind of fun, honestly. Did you just say that the terminal is like an AI chat? I'm cooked. I don't want AI to exist anymore. Well, I mean, if you come to my channel enough, or you've seen my videos enough, you know my feelings on AI. I don't try to hide it. I'm not very positive on it, but I'm not like a hater doomer, but, well, I say that. Go watch my videos and make your own judgment. But no, I say that when I say like, I'm making an analogy. I'm making a comparison as opposed to I'm just comparing and contrasting. I'm almost making like an analogy. I'm trying to create an analogy that can help someone understand it who's never seen it before. So, yeah. Let's see. Thanks so much for going into my question. Looking forward to the course. Greetings from the Netherlands. Yo, welcome. Yeah, appreciate it. I appreciate you coming here. I appreciate people asking me questions, because then it lets me talk. And, I think that's why people enjoy these lives. I'm going to be honest. I think some people just like to ask questions, get their questions answered in the live streams. That's not like a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad thing. It just means I have unlimited content. You guys make my job easy when you do that. So, hey, man, that's awesome. Appreciate it. 0 to hero, hero to legend. Yes. You got it. You absolutely got it. I initially thought of, like, when I played through Doom Eternal, really fun game, really cool movement, really just overall good experience. When you get to the end of Doom Eternal, you have the DLC, and the DLC is just like, hey, you don't have to go through and get all of the weapons and all of the upgrades. We give you everything. Now prove you're a master at the movement. That's how I want to approach this course. Like, I'm going to teach you how to do everything. And then if you're ready for the last hour, it's like, okay, now we're going to exercise those skills. Like in the course, I taught you how to put an ampersand at the end of your command to run in the background. In the legends part, the 100% plus part, we're going to talk about what that means. We're going to talk about the fork syscall, the exec syscall, calling wait on a process to see when it has died, getting the sig child signal, how ampersand changes when we call wait on it, what it means to inherit a file descriptor. So why are we inheriting the terminal? When you redirect to a file, what happens if you don't redirect? Where does that go? I want to talk about all that stuff. Is standard out buffered? Is standard error buffered? Is that defined anywhere? Is that changed by the bash code? We're going to answer all these questions. That's what I plan on doing in the hero section. I think that'll be fun. So yeah, we'll be using like dtrace. We'll be monitoring scripts that we write to see like what syscalls they call, what external commands they fork. I think it's fun to like observe it. Let's see. I got that. I know your stance on AI. It's just one of those analogies that makes me feel old and I hate new technology. Yeah. Yeah. Like kids signing a phone with their palm. Yeah. Yeah, I understand that feeling. It's like coming up with an analogy to explain rotary phones to someone who's never seen one. And it's like, what do you mean you've never seen one? Like I had one growing up. Like I can understand why that's upsetting. strace for the win. Yeah, I've only used strace sparingly, so I'll have to learn how to use that if we're going to dive into Linux at all. Since we're on Mac, I'll probably just use dtrace. Guys, I know it should be working. I know it should be working, but you know, it's, come on. Like, like this is it, right? This is my new profile picture. Like, come on, this has to be my new profile picture. Let's be real. Like, I don't see any way around it. It's so much. It's so stupid. I think it has to be. It's making me laugh so bad. Oh, like a child, dude. Oh my god, it's so funny. I first used it on Solaris. I think that was what, 25 years ago. dtrace, not 25 years ago. That can't be right. 15 years ago? When was dtrace? I mean, Open Solaris would have been, you're talking like 2005, 2006, somewhere around then. I think, did dtrace just celebrate its 20th year anniversary? I mean, that's what dtrace.conf was for this one, right? Let me pull this up real quick. I think it was the 20-year one, right? But yeah, I mean, roughly around then, yeah. So, we get into eBPF territory and kernel. Yeah, again, these are all Linuxisms. strace, eBPF, previously system tap, I believe. These are all Linuxisms. I don't know them. I don't. Sorry. But similar idea. Yeah. It's so funny. It's the same thing that happened in my brain. Like when I mention dtrace and someone makes an analogy to strace and eBPF, I'm like, oh, that hurts me. That hurts me. Like, no, it's dtrace and truss and all these tools that came first. But yeah, it is what it is, man. I don't get upset about it. It's just like, it's just funny. Let's see. Chad Weishaupt. So true. It's Friday night. Go off, King. That's right. Which app is that? I don't do much photo editing. That is Pixelmator. Pixelmator, all one word. It's specifically for Mac, and I started using it on the iPhone, actually. They have a really good iPhone app. But I pretty much do all my photo editing and picture editing in that because I don't know how to use anything else. That's a chance for a dtrace history lesson. Absolutely. 100% it is. I've said this before, and if I had unlimited time on this earth, yeah, I would do content. I would do Rust content. I would go into the history of dtrace. I would talk about the ZFS file system. It's just one man. I mean, oh man. I have so many ideas for content. I just don't have enough time. Like, the Bash course is going to get done in 2025. I also want to do a Bash HTTPS request. Pure Bash. SSL termination, TLS termination in pure Bash without forking external tools. These just take time. I want to write an NES emulator in Bash. I know it's possible. Emulating 6502 it's not that difficult of an instruction set. But again, like I need infinite time. Infinite time would be so useful. All right, we're locking in. Let's do this. What is it? What it is, a long video broken in chapters that will live on YouTube for free. Any supplemental material of my own for it. Any supplemental material for it will live on GitHub in a repo specific to this course. Awesome. Example, 6-hour video total, 20-minute sections, 18 chapters. Yep. Upload as one big video. Also upload as 18 smaller videos in a playlist. Who else uses links in the terminal? Now, when you say, what do you mean links? Do you mean like if I was going to use like links to load like a website or something? D-Trace 20 years old, January 2005. Okay, cool. Yeah. I thought it was like it just turned 20 or something. I thought that was a thing. I remember that. S-Trace was originally written for SunOS. Oh my God, I did not know that. Yeah, so there's a real reason to jump into this history here. I didn't even know that. That's super cool. That's awesome. For SunOS in 1991. I would love to see that. What yeah, oh man, I wish I was around for more of the history of it. Let's see. Who it's for. The absolute beginner and the person who wants to look inside bash.c and everyone in between. From absolute beginner to proficient and comfortable CLI only interface. How many Brian Cantrillisms would be in that history? LOL. A lot. An absolute lot. I mean, D-Trace is what, 1/3 Brian? Like, yeah. It'd be a lot. Oh, man. That'd be a fun history. I mean, God, see, now you guys are giving me too many, like, I mean, also, I'm sure Brian's talked about the history of it. I'm sure you can go find it. Go find any, dtrace.conf, and he's talked about it. But it'd be cool to have, like, here's, like, the official source. Like, here is the history of D-Trace from beginning to end. But, I mean, I'm sure it's probably out there. Yeah, if not, it'd be cool. I'd love to just, like, interview him and be like, all right, man, I got questions for you. BPF created in 1993, of which eBPF was birthed from. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, but that's... Oh, we're getting so sidetracked. BPF and eBPF, that's what? Berkeley packet filter? Is that like what it is? Not that it matters, like, because, it changes and stuff. But wasn't that like not... I'm talking out of I'm pulling things out of thin air here. So I'm just going by what I know. But I think like when I hear eBPF and stuff and I hear about tracing a system in real time, I think that's a relatively new thing. I don't think that's what it was doing in 93. I could be totally wrong, but that's my gut reaction to reading that. There's a documentary on eBPF. That's a great watch. Ooh, okay. Yeah, sounds interesting. All right, let's do this. It's completely different than BPF. Yeah. Okay, cool. From absolute beginner to proficient and comfortable on a CLI only interface. Also, yeah, if I do in my course, I probably won't, but if I do go into the history of like bash and shells and stuff, that's going to be where I literally hire people to fact check it, because I want to make sure we get information right. Like that's, yeah, I'm going to make sure everything in it's 100% up to, make sure everything's good. So yeah, we're going to make sure this is good. 100% plus, dig into the source code, look at how things are implemented, complex data structure in Bash, basically how to think of Bash as a programming language more than a scripting language. 0 to 100 equals 85-90% of the course. 100% plus equals remaining 10 to 15% of the course. Think of it as DLC. Cool. What you'll learn and what you'll need. Okay, these are the big ones, but we'll get there. Born Shell's as old as me, 1979. Huh, that's awesome. I think, yeah, so Born Shell is 79. Is Bash, I think Bash is 89. I don't remember when. I want to say April, but I think Bash is 89. I want to say Bash is 10 years newer, 10 years younger than the Bourne shell. From one music lover to another, go check out the clip from Rick Beato analyzing. Whoa. Interesting. Okay. I mean, listen, man. When Rick Beato videos pop up in my YouTube algorithm, I definitely go. I go watch him. He's an interesting guy. He's a smart guy. I like watching him talk about music. You just vibe out for a while. It's just a shame that copyright works the way it does. It makes it so hard to share some of those songs and for people to get credited. Like he can share a riff and talk about it, but because that riff is copyright claim, that becomes a whole nightmare. It's like, dude, I don't know, man. Copyright system's a little bit weird. 1989, June 8th. Okay, sick. Yeah, I knew I had some information up in my brain. I don't even know what Bash is. I think it's like a PowerShell for Linux, and this is my third day using Linux. Hopefully I can catch. Oh yeah, dude. Welcome. Yeah, glad you're here. Sure. I mean, yeah. PowerShell is a shell. Bash is a shell. Z shell is a shell. Fish is a shell. New shell is a shell. They're all different shells. They are your program that runs when you open up a terminal or a command prompt or whatever you want to call it. Inside that terminal that you open, there's a program running, and that's how you interface with your system. That's what your shell is. So PowerShell is just one of those things. Bash is another one of those things. They do things slightly differently, but at the end of the day, you type stuff in and you get stuff back. That's effectively what happens there. PowerShell uses more structured data under the hood to pass between programs, whereas Bash uses the universal interface of text or, just bytes. But yeah. But at the end of the day, you have to represent it somehow on a terminal, so it gets, shown that way to you. Thanks for that explanation. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Most likely, I don't know what version of Linux you're using or how you're learning, but I'm a gambling man. If I had to put money on it, I would say that whatever version you're using, you're probably going to be using Bash as the shell. Unless you're doing something real crazy over there, you're probably going to be using Bash as the shell. Yeah. All right. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. Give me like 1-2 minutes, and then I'll be back. We're going to lock in, and we're going to figure out what we'll learn. Sup, gamers? You chose Void Linux? That's awesome. Did you decide to choose Void all on your own, or did you choose it because I talk about it a lot? Because I mean, I'll be honored if it's because I talk about it, but I'm getting the feeling that that's not what it is, and you just decided to choose Void Linux. If so, Void is awesome, dude. Void's probably my favorite distro of Linux, I would say. Yeah, I love Void Linux. Oh my god, it's awesome. More power to you if you're using it on the GUI and a muscle build. That can be kind of annoying to get things to work. XBPS, yeah, exactly. I got sick of using XBPS. So, let's see. Do I have a Void system? SSH Void? Hey, look at that. We do have a Void system. So, if I want to list packages, I use the wrapper. I forget who wrote this. Someone wrote a wrapper called VPN, the Void Package Manager. And it's just a wrapper on XBPS. It's very colorful. It's a little bit more colorful than I would have usually done. But it's cool because it'll just run the XBPS command for you. So I have like, you know, VPM update, VPM install, VPM search, VPM file list. So it's pretty cool. It'll like look up that software and tell you what's there. VPM LS to list your files. Let's see. Yeah, VPM, the Void Package Manager utility. This user created it. So, copyright 2016. Oh, that's pretty cool. I think your YouTube recommended me this live because I've seen Void content viewers. Oh, hey, that's awesome. That's super cool. Yeah, the other thing I'd recommend for you, if you don't already use it, is check out VSV. So if you do VSV, the Void Service Manager, it will show your services running. You know, just it's the same as running like sudo sv status var service star, but obviously the output's I think a little bit nicer. Check mark if it's running, lets you know that's running, it's true. Here's the PID, here's the name of the command that's running. It started 2 months ago. So yeah, I like VSV a lot. And one of the reasons I recommend it, of course, is because the Void Service Manager, oh, it's not colored? Oh, it should be colored output, is written by yours truly. Of course it is. So yeah, I wrote this a while back, but I find it super useful. I like it a lot. Yeah, getting super distracted. All right, my fault for getting distracted. I totally let myself get distracted. Okay, what you'll learn and what you need. What you'll learn. How to stop being such a loser on the shell. What you need. A brain. Oh my god, that's so dumb. Just kill me. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. What you'll learn. What a terminal is. What a terminal is, how it interacts with your system, and how you can see that through Finder, Explorer, File Manager, etc. So, show the CLI interacting with GUI. So we can see like, you know, make dir actually creates a folder. LS shows you the same thing as what's in the folder. So things like that. Let's see. What a terminal is, how it interacts with your system, and yeah, okay. Let's see. Are you running a graphics card on Void? No, that's just that Void machine is just a virtual machine I have running on an Illumos system. No graphics card on that one. No Oxford comma. Unsubscribing. Yeah. Let's see. What is it? I'd like to thank my. What is it? My parents, God, and Ayn Rand. Is that the quote that everyone uses for the Oxford comma? Is that the one that everyone always quotes? I'd like to thank my parents, God, and Ayn Rand. Because man, this comma, that comma is absolutely load bearing. My parents, God, and Ayn Rand. Well, I mean, awesome list, but yeah, this is, this is a totally different sentence. I love this one. This is the best way of seeing the use of the Oxford comma. So yeah, what do you want? You want it here? What a terminal is, how it interacts with your system. Is that what you want? I mean, I don't really care. Let's see. what terminal is how it interacts with your system, and how you can see that through Finder, Explorer, File Manager, etc. Show the CLI interacting with GUI. Cool. What else can we learn? What a shell is, fundamentally a REPL, and how we can interact with it via commands, external and built-in, because your external and built-in commands are in the same pool of same namespace, but kind of functions and aliases exist differently. So I'll talk about all that. Fundamentally REPL and how we can interact with it via commands. Basic file system manipulation commands and visual GUI real-time representation of the work being done. Create, delete, list files, maybe even convert a, I don't know, a WebP to JPEG. That could be kind of cool. People like that. Let's see. What else will we learn? Basic task automations with scripts. How to take a series of commands and run them all at once. Conditional, or we'll do complex task automations with scripts. Introduce conditional branching. I mean, whatever, as complex we want to get. String manipulation. Yeah, all sorts of things like that. Yeah, I'll have to come up with really good examples. So we'll have to come up with like really good examples that show why this thing is useful. Distro installing is a sick addiction I have. Void looks nice though. Lots of issues in the repo to contribute to as well. Good opportunity there. Yeah, it is kind of a sick addiction. Be careful with that. I kind of pick some and just stick with it. Because, you know, otherwise it's like people who want to make a game. Don't get stuck looking at game engines, because you'll end up making a game engine before you ever write a game. So yeah. I love how in the XPBS repo says the goal to be bug free. Well, you say obviously, but I'm glad they explicitly state it. Let's see. Is that Dave Eddy from daveeddy.com? Yo, what's up, Ash? Welcome to the chat. Yes, it is. That's true that it is. 100%. Okay. Let's see what it is, who it's for, what you'll learn. Complex task automations with scripts, introduce conditional branching, string manipulation. Finally, feel proficient in a CLI environment. Be able to edit files. We'll do Nano and Vim probably. Nano Vim. And rename files in batches. So I'm already thinking of some like examples. Like example would be mismatch of .jpeg and .jpeg files. Normalize them. And we could even check like, oh, will this cause a collision or something? So yeah. Maybe a section on taking your bash knowledge and transferring it to something like CSH or ZSH. Maybe, but that's a tough one because I don't know CSH or ZSH. So I can only show how to take my knowledge and sort of put it into a different high level shell. I wouldn't be able to target C shell and Z shell specifically, but I'd be able to talk about just the basics of a shell. But yeah, I think that's kind of what we're going to do. I think I'm going to approach it the opposite way. I'm going to keep it like this part here will be like this stuff will work on any shell. And then as we get down here and things get more complex, this is where we'll start doing bash specific things. Like here, we'll probably start doing parameter substitution, things that only work in bash. So yeah, cool. What you need. And then let's see, this is, high level overview. This is the high level overview of the course. And then down here, this will be course outline, and this will be where we actually talk about, we're going to start making chapters and what I have to start recording. Let's see. What is that man behind you? There's a man behind me? This guy? That's me. Don't worry about that. That's me. That's clearly me, so don't worry about it. Let's see. Links, permissions. Yeah. That'll be something I talk about too. I'll get into that when I actually start talking about the more specifics of it. Because I'm just considering that like file system manipulation stuff. So yeah, we'll get into that. We're just keeping it high level for now. We're going to get into lower level stuff. Process substitution, I thought parameter expansion was POSIX standard. Yeah, but we'll get to that stuff. Let's see. Yeah, ZSH is definitely helpful if you, yeah, sure. It's the guy from Silicon Valley. No, it's me. Yeah, okay. Now we'll actually talk about what you need, and then we'll get into the course outline. So what we need in order to do this. We'll need a computer with a terminal emulator. So that will be Mac with terminal.app, show a little iTerm and bash. Linux with a terminal, could be GNOME terminal, it could be URXVT or whatever they're called. And then Windows with WSL, figure out how to help people with this. Okay. That will get us started there. Let's see. Are you going to show some advanced features like loading shared C objects with enable-F? Yeah, I actually mentioned that earlier in the stream. So I'll show how to, it doesn't necessarily have to be C, it can be any sort of compiled language, but I'll show how to compile things. I'll probably target Rust and C and create shared objects that you can load into Bash, and we can run them as built-ins. I'll get to that when we get to that, but one of my examples I think is I want to do JSON stringification of complex Bash data types. So Bash has, arrays or an associative array. I want to make a built-in in Rust that can stringify that with JSON, or, make something in C that can quick sort it or something like that. So let's see. Are you creating a man file? No. Yeah, JQ is awesome. I like JQ. What you need: computer with a terminal editor, Mac with terminal.app. I think that's it. I don't think you need anything else. Like for this course, no real prior knowledge. Try to start from the ground up. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's what we're going to do. All right, now we're going to outline the course. And this is going to be what this course is going to be. So I know it might eventually be one big video. I don't care. We're going to talk about chapters. And the way we can think about that is a chapter will be a single video. And inside that chapter will be sections. No, we need a better terminology for this. Course has... Let's call it with terminology that makes sense. A course has chapters, which has, it seems like a section would be like a series of chapters, which would have sections, parts of a video. Course, roughly 6 hours. Chapter, roughly 20 minutes. I think that's like it. That's just, these aren't hard and fast rules. This is just like my idea. How much Vim required? I don't know. I don't know. If I do require it, I'll teach people how to use it. And I'll just so the idea will be, hey guys, now we're going to use a text editor to do this work. I'm going to show how to use Nano because it's a text editor. I'll show how to use Vim because it's a text editor. I'll stop there and I'll let people know, hey, for the rest of this course, if you are already comfortable with text editors, use whatever you want. I'm going to continue to use Vim. It's what I'm comfortable with, and I already taught how to use it. But when I tell you to edit a file, I'm not going to hold your hand. I've already taught you how to insert and write and quit and stuff in Vim, so use whatever editor you want. That's kind of how I think I'm going to approach it. Where like, if you don't know anything, you can copy exactly what I do and get what I get. But if you're coming in here like, oh, I have some knowledge of it. I have some knowledge of a text editor, then fine, use your own. Like, what do I care? So I'll try to be abstract when it makes sense. I won't say, okay, now fire open your Vim using this command. I'll be like, fire open your text editor, fire open Vim. Like, you know, if you use your own text editor, you'll know what you want. Ew, I don't like that order. No idea what you're talking about. No love for Emacs. I don't use it. I've used Nano and I've used Vim, so I'm going to go over that because the goal would be to teach text editing. I'm going to teach you every Unix command under the sun. This is going to be, we're going to get proficient at using the terminal and bash. That's the goal of this course. It's a good idea. We should write that down. Become proficient at using the terminal and creating, I could say creating automations using and creating bash scripts. I might have to put the word automation there. Become proficient at using the terminal and creating bash scripts. That's like the goal. That's like the goal of this. I use Sublime Text like a noob, but I wish I knew Vim better. Well, here's the beautiful thing. If you wish you knew something better, take the time and go learn it. Like, yeah, just spend some time with it, man. It's just a fun argument. I don't have an opinion. I don't even know what order you're talking about. I didn't even understand your comment, but it's fine. Like, whatever. I don't care. Let's see. Do you have a Bash RC starter for people that could play with? I don't have one right now. But that might be useful to put in the course. Okay. So, chapter 1. No, let's not call it chapter 1. Let's create this as an unordered list so we can sort things. We'll finalize the order later. We'll just get the idea of chapters out. I'll have a rough order, but then we'll clean it up as we go. Let's jump into it. Again, if you're watching on Twitch, you like what you see, go ahead and hit that follow button. And if you're watching on YouTube and you like what you see, go ahead and close the browser. I'm joking. Hit that subscribe button. I have to stop doing that. I say these jokes before I even think about what I'm saying. Like, I'm actually dumb. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're good. Do I need anything? Am I getting hungry? What time is it? Okay. One more small meal for the rest of the day. Cool. Awesome. I'm just like keeping track of my life. I'm using NeoVim now. I really don't know the difference, but I'm getting comfortable with NeoVim. Yeah, I don't even know the difference too much. I know NeoVim is a fork of Vim and it has more modern features. I think it has like more asynchronous plugins. I think it uses Lua instead of like the Vim scripting language. That's like the only differences I know of. I just have never really had a reason to switch myself. I sent you an email of a thing I started years ago to teach my kids about Bash. That's interesting. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'll check that out. That's super interesting. When you say your kids, are you a teacher or do you mean like your actual like offspring? If you don't want to answer that, that's fine. It doesn't really actually matter. I'm just genuinely curious, like what the context of this is. How to deal with where Bash ends and Unix utilities begins. Oh yeah, that's going to be a big thing. Well, don't worry. That's big on my mind. That'll come up. Prefer using basic editor because I know it'll exist on any system I admin. Oh yeah, when you come from the sysadmin background, you get used to more basic tools and less customized prompts because you have to be able to work on everything. Yep. Discussion between bash RC versus bash profile. To be honest, I never understood what was the point of a profile file. Don't worry. Yeah, I can talk about that. I've talked about that in a previous video of mine. I'm going to try to pull my website and it's going to be stupidly cut off. I hate that it does this. I have a series on my YouTube called You Suck at Programming where I go over bash stuff, which already sounds ridiculous even just saying that out loud. I think I have one. Do I have one where I talk about, let's do no color. Actually, how about we do /JSON? This is my website, by the way. Let's do /JSON and pipe it to JQ. And then let's remember how I actually sorted my own JSON because I forget things. Episodes title. Okay, so we can do JQ-R dot episodes title. There we go. And then I think I have, do I have profile? Do I not have this video? Oh, I might not have uploaded this video yet. Oh, I have one called login shells. It might be, oh yeah, here we go. Bash RC versus bash profile versus profile. I actually have a video where I cover this. It's on my YouTube channel. It's episode 23 of my You Suck at Programming series, but that might be useful to put in this bash course. I'm definitely going to go through every single video that I've made here and pull things out of it because there's really good information in this. My actual kids. Okay, nice. Maybe a chapter on grep sed awk pipelining. Oh yeah, definitely. Hi, Dave. Yo, what's up, George? How you doing? Welcome to the Twitch chat. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm dual streaming on YouTube and Twitch. So if you're watching on one platform and you prefer the other, go jump over there. All right. So if we're doing 20-minute chapters at roughly 6 hours of content, again, throwing out ideas here, then we should have 18 chapters. So we can target 18 and see how we feel. The first chapter would be, what is a terminal? Which sounds ridiculous. Let's see. What can we talk about with what is a terminal? Talk about 1970s computers. Terminal emulators for modern PCs where we can emulate a terminal like I'm doing right now. Yeah, where the white rabbit starts, 100%. What is a terminal? Talk about 1970s computers, terminal emulators for modern PCs. I don't even know what else goes in a terminal. Basic text rendering on a monospace font. I don't even know if this is necessary, but that's what we have. Original terminals being 80 by 24. I think that's actually really useful. Yes. That's a good point. ASCII, I should mention that. I'll tell you this. Okay. If you're in my chat, you know a lot of this stuff, so it's not scary to you. But put your mind in the brain of someone who's never seen this stuff, but they may have heard some of these terms like text encoding and ASCII and UTF-8, and they might be scared away. Heck, even if you know this stuff, you might be scared away. Like, I completely understand that. So yeah. VT100s. Yeah, we could talk about all this stuff. God, do we even talk about the PDP-11? No. We can't get too far into it. It's important to mention this stuff, especially because I can talk about code styling, like my own personal styles. I have an 80 column code limit. Like even this text document is 80 columns max. I'm pretty strict about that. So how do you disable the CC? Is it just set CC equals 0? Yeah. Let's see. Readline is also a big chapter. I'm customizing my output RC file these days. Not going to lie, the man page is cryptic as hell. Oh man, interesting. Analogies are helpful for some, if not most, of the jargon. Yes. Oh god, it's gonna be so many analogies. I love analogies. I think they're super useful. Dylan Beatty, I don't know how to pronounce that, does a great talk about plain text, just by the way. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Oh man, I love plain text. All right, what is a terminal? Talk about 1970s terminals, terminal limiters, basic text rendering on a monospace font. Shell runs in the terminal. This will be segue into next chapter. Okay, now I'm going to write this down, but can we really justify a whole video on what a terminal is and then what a shell is? I feel like what a shell is and what a terminal are might be the same chapter. I'll keep them separate for now. We're going to dump ideas now, but then we'll reorient ourselves and figure out what makes sense. Let's see. Control characters. Yeah, I don't want to overwhelm someone yet. If we get into control characters, we might get into that later. Although that is super useful for talking about a terminal. That's tough. That's tough. Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Let's do this. What is a shell? Basic, input, output, REPL, and that simple... We can talk about iteration loop, I guess. State machine. I might stay away from talking about how I view the world as everything is one big state machine. That might just not be useful, but we'll see. Basic input output, REPL, and simple iteration loop. Managing command execution and optionally displaying to the above terminal. Everything is a file. Be careful with that, because that's just not true. It's just not true. That's helpful if you're coming from an operating system like Windows, where nothing is a file, and you start to realize, oh my god, everything's a file. But like it actually is just not true. There are other data types and stuff. But I know what you mean. It could be useful to bring that up, because more things are files than people realize. Yeah, a lot of these analogies were more useful back in the day, I think, because it's like, yeah, he beat me. The Windows retro. Yeah, exactly. Because I'm thinking, like, if I was programming, like, yeah, I'm just trying to think, because the history doesn't even line up here. I wasn't alive in the 70s to experience this, but like, if I was coming from like assembly or something, or learning like 6502 on programming for the Commodore 64, I'm going to be dealing with a lot of memory mapping, where from my program's point of view, it's writing to a register, but that register could be a different chip that I'm talking to. And that's the concept of memory mapping. When it comes to everything being a file, it's like a totally different way of thinking about things. But I don't think it's useful here to mention it. Maybe mention ASCII control, yeah. When talking about binary data and XXD, yeah. If we're going to be doing like hex dumps and actually looking at data that's not going to natively render nicely on our terminal, we can do that. That's a good idea. Let me write that down here. ANSI ASCII control characters. The example would be cat in my binary file. I think this might be something, if someone's touched a terminal, they may have accidentally done that before. I know I have. You cat, what is a binary file? And then suddenly, you have to reset your terminal. And then you think about how dangerous it is that you can pull my website like this on your terminal, and your terminal displays my website so nicely. Isn't that beautiful? And then you're like, wait, why is my terminal displaying that nicely? Oh, because it's rendering ANSI codes that were given from that website. What if some of them were malicious? Well, how malicious can you get with ANSI codes? It's like enabling JavaScript on a website. It's no different. See how easy it is for me to go down rabbit holes? Oh, man. God, if I was a teacher, I would be one of those teachers that the kids would just totally get off topic. And I wouldn't even mind. I'd be like, yeah, whatever, dude. You're still getting assigned the homework at the end of the day, so. Let's see. Basic input output, REPL, and simple iteration, managing command execution, and optionally displaying the above terminal. I don't even know if I should talk about what that is. Because I'm trying to imagine it from a person who's never seen this stuff before. Recap, shell runs in the terminal. Yeah. If you were a teacher, you already are. True. And also, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, when I was a kid, those were the best teachers, the one I learned from the most. Yeah, I agree. I think they usually end up being the most personable, and they're the ones you remember, and you form more of a connection with them when they talk about like stuff in their life. So yeah, I think it makes it easier to listen to them and trust them. Let's see. I do think it's useful to say why terminals are useful in the chapter about them. Historically useful because no GUI and now they... Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Why they are useful. Why they were useful. No GUI. And why they are still useful. No GUI today. Yeah, let's see. You can do it for free? Yes. This whole thing will be free. Commands are just executable files, which are located in bin, user bin, also the path variable in bash. We'll get to that, because no, that's not true. Commands can be executable files, which are located in your path, but they can also be functions, they can be aliases, they can be built into your shell. So like, you know, what is CD? CD is a function, CD is a shell built in, and CD is user bin CD. So it's a function that gets called first, which calls the built-in of CD, which gets called here, and then never calls this thing on my file system. So we'll be a little bit careful with that. True. Hey, look at that. I know you meant true to what I said, but also, what is true? True is a shell built in. True will also exist on my system, but true is a shell built in. So yeah, be careful with that, because let's look at my PWD. And now let's call bin CD. No, was it user bin CD? Let's go to /temp. Ready for this? Where do you think we are? Where do you think we are, everybody? What directory do you think we currently are in? A lot of setup here. I kind of held everyone's hand getting here. But let's go ahead and find out what directory we're in. Uh-oh. We're in the same directory. Why is that? Because we forked an external command which created its own environment. And then it did call the chdir syscall to go into here. And it returned either successfully or not successfully. We can check that with this. But our PWD doesn't change because it can't change the process above it. If we were to CD into like, you know, this, it prints an error and it also echoes that. So this command's useful for seeing if I can chdir into something, but the command itself doesn't really do anything. So yeah, that's fun. Yo, what's up, Robin? How you doing? Yeah, I'm back streaming. Glad you're excited to see me. Let's see. Console versus terminal versus TTY. Maybe, but that might be in the advanced section. I'm going to be honest. Because once we start talking about TTY, like yes, I agree it's part of the history, but I don't want this course. This course can't be everything. It can't be an entire history lesson and also a practical guide on using it. Like, it just can't be. Or else I don't think it'll appeal to like everyone in this chat and no one else. So I want to keep it more practical and usability. I'll probably save some of the more advanced stuff to the end. Let's see. You like to have fun here. You are a wizard, sir. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. No, I just have too much of an understanding on this stuff, sadly. Not sadly. It's actually cool. Day 1 lesson, rm-rf/. Yeah, that's a pretty good lesson. Now we can talk about why that won't work on modern GNU versions of the core utils. We can talk about why that won't work on Illumos. Illumos doesn't have the no preserve root flag, but that command still won't work. And there's a really cool reason why it won't work. Let's see. Link out to other videos when it gets too deep. I think I will. Yeah, I'll probably put like footnotes and stuff and a glossary. Not a glossary. What's the other glossary where you link to external things? Whatever that is. Let's see. About bash, starting out with file system. Yeah. Agreed. Permissions is really boring as a topic. I don't think about it much on my own machine. Could be boring, but I'm definitely going to touch on it. Absolutely. Because knowing permissions is... I'll show you. foo.sh. Let's put a shebang here. Bin, bash, and let's echo hi. Now we have a bash script, right? And we can run bash foo.sh, and it works. It prints hi. But if I run foo.sh, what happens when I run this? Permission denied. I said permission denied before I even looked. That's how confident I was. But imagine if it wasn't. That'd be super funny. So knowing permissions is super useful here because foo.sh doesn't have the executable bit. But do you know what does have the executable bit? Bash has it. So bash can execute and read this in. In fact, we could even read it in over standard in. I could cat foo and pipe it into bash, and all of these work. They work just fine, even though foo is not executable. So I can't execute this. Now we could chmod plus x foo, which will add the executable bit, and then I can run it. So that is the same as this, right? Right? They're the same? Let's find out. What if instead of echo hi, we declared an associative array called array. We set array foo to hi, and then we echoed array at spot foo. What if we did this? What happens now? If we run bash on foo, we get hi, but if we run foo here, so my whole point is be very careful with this. I think permissions do matter. They can be boring, but look at what I just did here. I can make, even though this permissions was an indirect thing here, even though permissions were kind of, they weren't exactly the issue. If you avoid permissions, you better know all this other stuff. That's what I can say. So don't get me wrong. This wasn't fixed by permissions. It was actually masked by permissions. But not knowing permissions will get you into these situations, and you might not know how to get yourself out of it. So yeah, don't get me wrong. Permissions might be boring, but I can make them fun. I promise you I can make them fun. Let's see. Yep. So what do we have here? The reason this didn't work, okay, if anyone's following along, this hard codes the path to bin bash, and that is bash version 3, which doesn't support associative arrays. So if I did bin bash on foo.sh, it still won't work. But if I just did bash, this calls bash from my path, which is opt homebrew bin bash. So if I call this works. That's the difference. The way we can quote unquote fix this is by doing user bin env bash. This will pull bash out of my environment. So it'll pull it out of my path variable, and then it works. So yeah. Welcome. I find permissions get harder when you're doing like network IO and you need to do setcap. Yeah, I wouldn't even consider those permissions. Permissions to me are read, write, execute, and sticky bit, set UID, set GID. What you're describing is capabilities, and setcap, I believe, don't quote me here, but I believe setcap is a Linux thing. Set capability is Linux specific. I don't know if other Unix style operating systems have that. So yeah, that would be capabilities, not permissions. In fact, I'd even have to check. I don't have a Linux machine to test on right now. I guess I could do it. Long story short, if you run a program that you don't have the capability to run, I think ping on Linux has setcap for you to run it. If you run it without the capability, I don't even think you get e-access. I think you might get e-perm for operation not permitted. I'd have to double check that. You might get e-access. I'd have to check the actual error code. But yeah, I wouldn't consider setcap to be permissions. I would consider it capabilities. Different than that. Let's see. That was crazy. Yeah, welcome. So when I do the advanced part of this tutorial, it's going to be fun. We're going to get really, really into it. Could you elaborate on how you fixed it with permissions? Sure, I think I did. NNBB, if you want to specify what you mean, I'm not sure what I didn't do with that. So I did. Okay, cool. I was gonna say, I thought I did, but yeah, let me know if I missed something. Let's see. Do you have experience with Flex and Bison? I don't know what either of those are. chmod 777, Robin, get out of here. It would fix the problem, but it would also, not a great thing to do. That's like saying sometimes my key doesn't work to get in my house, so I fix the problem by removing all the locks. You fix the problem, but you might have introduced yourself to some newer problem, so be really careful with that. Let's see. Groups is really boring. What, you mean like permission groups, or are we talking about a different thing? Wow, you're a part of a lot of groups on Apple. They have dots in their group names? Heck yeah, man, that's awesome. Go Apple. That's wild. Okay, neat. Cool. Yeah, remove the doors. Yeah, basically. I live out in the country, no locks. Well, listen, you know what, Robin? Then you can chmod 777 things. Thoughts on App Armor SE Linux? I don't know them enough. They've only caused me headaches because I don't take the time to learn Linux. Honestly, like I don't. Apple shill? No, I'm bad at it. I'm bad at shilling if that's the case. I have a lot of things I don't love about Apple. So yeah. Oh, my bad. You're not bad, dude. You asked a question. I've never seen them. So yeah, no, you're good. Feel free to ask whatever you want. Let's see. Yeah, if I'm a shill for Apple, then I'm really bad at it. Wheels, groups, yeah. There is a history to Wheel. I don't remember the history of why it's called Wheel. There is a history there. Like, I know FreeBSD, Apple uses Wheel as the root group. There is a history. I wish I should learn that, but yeah. Work makes me run an Apple M3 8-core. Listen, you should be lucky to run that, okay? Work lets you run that, all right? Change your thought process there, buddy. You should be blessed to be able to run that. Oh, man. Hey, I just bought your WiSAP short in that color scheme. Now you're repping a Unix version. Are you trying to financially ruin me? My shirt? Oh, the shirt? So the colors are actually slightly different. And this is not my official merch. I don't own the trademark to Unix, so I don't know if I'd try to do this. I just grabbed this off of Redbubble, man. So, yo, appreciate you for picking up the shirt, though. Yeah, if anyone didn't know, I do have some merch for my my stuff. I have like pretty cool shirts and some mugs and stuff, and I want to make more. Do I have a Bang merch command for the bot? That might be pretty cool. If I don't, I should. Oh, I don't? That's so lame. That's so lame that I don't have that. But you can go to my website here, /merch, and you'll be able to buy stuff. If you want it, you don't have to. Let's see. Apple a day keeps something. Yeah, you got it, man. Why don't you have a timestamp on your term? Why would I have that? I don't, I wouldn't like that. I don't like a ton of information on my terminal. I like it to be very simple, very clean. The term was derived from the slang phrase big wheel, referring to a person with great power or influence. Yo, that's sick. That's awesome. All right. Let's get back to it. Yeah, I want to make some progress. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. I'll probably call the stream relatively soon. I probably won't get the whole outline done, but like, we're making good progress here. I'm very happy with this. Setting the terminal prompt, e.g. PS1 equals PWD, is useful for a lot of people. Non-player character, I need you here because every suggestion you gave me is like half right, half wrong. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm actually really happy you give me these suggestions because I want to show you why what you gave will break. I know you gave it as an example. I don't think you're intending people to actually do this, but watch this. Watch what happens if I set PS1 equal to PWD. Do you know what will happen? My PS1 variable will be my present working directory, right? So if I run ls, you can see what's in there. If I run pwd, you can see it prints exactly the same thing, right? Watch this. What if I cd to temp? My PS1 variable didn't change. What if I run pwd? I'm in temp, but my PS1 variable didn't change. And my PS1 variable didn't change because of course it didn't change. I statically set it to whatever pwd was set to at that time. It's not set to automatically update. So I'd have to have this code execute every single time. And the way I can do that is by using some built-in variables that Bash has. I think W is what I want. There we go. So if you set it to \W, Bash will interpret that as the directory. So now that my PS1 variable is set to that, if I cd to temp, you can see I go there. If I cd back to that directory, you can see I'm here. And yeah, I don't like that. So I'm going to exec bash. I'm going to reload my current shell, and it will just pick up the prompt that I like to use for this. So yeah, no, non-player character. Please don't apologize. I love it. I love the examples you give because they're teachable moments like this. I think it's super fun and it's super cool because like even people who are really good at the shell, if you show them that, like, don't get me wrong, I looked at what you saw or what you said and I was like, yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but I want to show that that specific version will have weird bugs. And if you don't know the shell, you might not be able to debug them. You might be like, what is going on here? This is super weird. And then how do you look up that problem? It becomes very difficult to like Google for it. So yeah, fun stuff. Let's see. Oh, Dave, I asked if you knew Flex and Bison because I was wondering if you ever thought about making a compiler in your life. They're lexical, syntactic, and semantic analyzers. Oh, okay, cool. Now that you say that, I realize I have heard those terms in that context, but not super well. I've never thought about doing any sort of compiler or something. That's just never been something I've been interested in. Looking forward to learning some more. Oh, yeah. Yo, have a good night, man. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Can you still push D? Of course you can. Do you mean like with the P? I'm not sure what you mean, but yeah, of course you can push D. Let's see. Head to the sauna and listen to programming in the sauna is based. Interesting. Let's see. What does exec bash mean in that context? So I can run a program. I can put exec that program. I'm not going to run it because if I run it, it will run that program, but my current shell will become that program and then my terminal will close. My terminal will just close if I do that. So exec means become that program. So I'll show you. Vim foo. Let's make a simple little bash script here. Let's echo hi, exec, echo okay, echo bye. I'll show you what this looks like with syntax highlighting so it's easier to read. We're going to echo hi. No, you know what? 1, 2, 3. So when we run this command, it prints 1 and 2, and it doesn't print 3. That's because this line has turned, it's exec, it's like the exec syscall. It has turned this program into echo 2. So once echo 2 is done, it's done. So what I'm doing here is I'm reloading my shell. The way I'm doing that is by saying, I could just type bash, and this will create a new version of bash that's running inside bash, and then I can exit from that. But I could also just say exec bash, and that means become bash. So it re-executes itself, and that's how I reload my bash RC and stuff like that. So if I ever get in a weird state, I can reload bash using that. It's a great little trick for it. Push D in relation to setting PS1 and it still produces the same output when changing DIRs. Doesn't matter. So it forks the shell PID. Nope, no, I'm not following that one. But yeah, if I were like, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, but if I was set PS1 to PWD right here expanded into a static string. So this will never change. PS1, my prompt is set to whatever this string was at that time. It doesn't reevaluate that string each time PS1 is expanded. This got expanded as a string. PS1 is now set to this string statically. So this will never change. Never change at all. Push D/temp. Pop D. My prompt has never changed. That's because PS1 is basically set to, foo. It's just set to a static string. It'll never change. That's what happened there. I really appreciate this. Yo, yeah, thank you for explaining. Yeah, definitely. So it forks the shell PID. He's asking if the process ID changes. Yes, it does. Yeah. It's setting PS1 to what? Yeah, so PS1 is like when you here, I'll show you. In bash, anytime you do, foo equals hello user, the date is date. That string, all these things got expanded immediately. So this string is now statically set to that. If I keep running it, it never changes. So that's basically what happened. We just set the PS1 variable statically to that string. It will never change. So that's how that worked. He's asking if the process ID changes. Yes. Because what happens with exec, so the way a shell works, like when I ls, it forks and execs ls. It forks. So it creates a new bash, which becomes ls, inherits the standard out and standard input and standard error, and then it shows it to me on my terminal because it's inherited those file descriptors. When I run exec ls, I'm not going to run this, this will kill my terminal. When I run that, it won't call fork, it will just call exec. So if we were to look at my current PID, this is the bash PID. If we were to exec bash, this will change. No, sorry, I'm wrong. What I said was right, and my conclusion was wrong. Sorry. It did not change PID because in order to get a new PID, you have to fork. I was just confused on that. So technically I was wrong. My explanation was right. My conclusion was wrong. We did not call fork. We just called the exec syscall. And when you call exec, you do not change your PID. That's an important distinction. Fork is how you create new PIDs. It's how children are born in Unix. But exec does not change your PID. So yeah. So I can do this as many times as I want. The process container is still there. All the file descriptors are still there. We just reloaded the memory. So any memory that we like allocated is gone. I should double check that. Can I do that actually? What happens if you, let me test something. Foo equals hi, echo foo. If I exec bash, I would expect that to be gone. Yep. Okay, cool. I had to double check that. There's no way that should have worked, but you know. So what happened here is I created a variable inside the memory space of bash. When I exec bash, the process container stayed there, but we created a new running program. So we cleared out all the memory. All that memory is just gone. So that's what happened there. Let's see. So this means for things like rev shells would be under the same PID. I don't know what that is. I'm not sure what a rev shell is. So for, yeah, you got it. Cool. So yeah. What is the difference between exec and eval? Exec hooks you up basically to the exec syscall. There's other things it can do. I can manage file descriptors in bash. So exec will let me take a program and become that thing. I can also do like exec to greater than &1, and I can redirect file descriptor 2 to file descriptor 1. I can do things like that. Eval is totally different. Eval takes whatever's in the string here and evaluates in the shell. So if I were to run like, you know, echo user, it'll say Dave. If I were to eval and put this in single quotes, which normally won't expand variables, you'll still get Dave because eval took this whole thing and ran it through a shell. It's the equivalent of running this, except eval happens on your current shell. It happens inside your current shell. This happens in a child process. So, for example, if we were to say foo equals hi, and then we were to eval echo foo, we will see that we get hi. That's great. That's awesome. If we were to run bash -c, we get nothing because we don't inherit variables in our child processes. The way we would inherit variables is if we were to export foo. Once we export foo, then this will work because exporting turns it into an environmental variable. Now that it's a variable in your environment, all your child processes will get it when you fork and exec it. So, how was that? See, I know too much about this stuff, and that's why the course is going to be awesome. Yo, what's up, Dark Space in the Twitch chat? Thank you so much for subscribing again. You've been subscribed for 2 months. That's sick. Yo, appreciate it. Glad you stopped by. That's awesome. I know we're not doing Advent of Code, but I appreciate you stopping by nonetheless. Whew. All right, what's going on here? Let's see. Could I ask for a TMUX session with PID running to show us processes when you do that again? Maybe. I'd have to think about how to display that in a way that could be useful. Is Bash 3.2 enough? The one that ships with macOS that's like 17 years old. Enough for what? Will it be enough for my course? For the first 90% of it? Yes. For the last 10% where I turn you into a hero? Probably not. I'll give you a more formal My goal is for this course, Bash 3.2 should be good enough to get you 80-90% of the way there. But then when we start talking about associative arrays and stuff like that, in my course, I'll make it very clear when we need to start using Bash 4.2, and I'll even have a section on how to install that on Mac or whatever, in case you want it. But yeah, no, you'll be mostly fine, because I'll be going over fundamentals and stuff. Let's see. Cool. Yeah, so hopefully that was fun for everyone. That we went real deep into it. Fun stuff though. Yeah, and I had to remember myself because in my brain I was like, oh yeah, we should have a new PID. Nope. You don't get a new PID from exec. You get a new PID from fork. Fork is one of the only syscalls that enters once and returns twice. Exec is one of those syscalls that enters once and doesn't return. It doesn't return. In fact, if anything gets executed below exec, it's an error. Like that means your exec failed. Something failed. This is a problem that people get into all the time because they're used to their shell. Imagine if I ran a command called like fake command, right? This command doesn't exist. Bash command not found. We have a return code of 127. What if I run a command that does exist but fails? Actually, let's do an easier one. ls fake directory. That didn't exist. That failed. There's something really important about these exit codes that you should know about. And I will tell you, a lot of people don't have this knowledge. And it can be, you're going to be fine in life without this knowledge, but like it can cause trip ups. So if you're writing Rust, for instance, and you go to execute a command in like a different language, Rust is the one I'm using example, but you could use other high level languages. If you were to execute something in Rust as an external command, it might fail creating the command. And then beyond that, the command itself may have failed. And it's important to have that distinction. So in this example up here, this failed to exec. The actual exec syscall failed because this program doesn't exist. In this example here, exec worked. We forked an exec ls just fine. We were able to create the command, but the command failed. So the command ran and then it returned 1. In this example, fake command didn't return 127. Fake command doesn't exist to return anything. Bash gave us 127. There's another thing. If you kill a process that's running with bash, you might notice that it'll have a weird exit code. And it's typically 127 plus the signal. So 127 plus 15, whatever that number is. That's what happens when you send a sig term to a process or you kill it with the default signal. So that process was running, you killed it, and now it returned with that exit code. Here's something interesting. Your shell, bash, always gives you an exit code. But if you are running in a high level language, you may or may not have an exit code. You don't have those 8 bits that tell you if the process exited. You will have a larger number. It's like 32 bits or 64 bits. I don't remember. You will have a larger number that tells you more accounting information about the process. And this will tell you things like if it died from a signal, things like that. So if I were to, let's say the process got like a sig v and it didn't handle that, like it tried to access memory, it doesn't own or something like that. Your shell will tell you that it has an exit code, but it's not an exit code. That's a return code. Your shell gave you that code. In fact, if I were to write a program that just returned 127 from bash point of view, you wouldn't be able to tell if my program exists and returns 127 or that program doesn't exist. So that's something important to keep in mind. If you're in a higher level language, like if you're writing C or something, exec can fail if there was some failure to exec the program. File didn't exist. We couldn't allocate memory. The file exists but doesn't have the executable permission. Things like that. You can catch those errors. But with your shell, you're just going to have a return code. Normally, it doesn't matter. You just want to catch if there's an error or not. Typically, that's the case. But just something to keep in mind. Because I've seen people get confused when they go into Rust and they're like, so command returned a result. But then when I get the actual exit code, I have to check if that was a success or not. It's like, yeah, you do. That's correct. Because the command may have failed to execute or it may have failed during execution. Those are 2 different states. The shell conflates those states. Often super convenient that it does. I don't really have any qualms with that. But yeah, something to keep in mind. Let's see. Important Unix philosophy that is important for shell is that no news is good news, i.e. don't say something was successful. Yes, that is so useful. Yes, that is so true. And it goes for when you're writing code too. Your code should exit early and loudly. When your code has a problem, it should exit the moment it detects that problem. And it should just be like, I'm done. I can't do what you said I want to do. And like, here's a whole list of things. But when you get nothing, then you know it worked. Then you know it worked perfectly. So assume nothing means that it was successful. You can also, of course, check the exit code. This is 0 because it's checking the exit code of echo, which ran above it, which ran successfully. Dave, won't echo always run successfully? No. What if we piped it to dev full? There you go. There's an example where echo won't run successfully because echo's good and it checks the return code of printing to it. So, so yeah. I think I'm going to call the stream here. Getting a little bit tired. I don't want to burn myself out and stream too much, especially now that I'm just coming back. I've already been sitting here for 2 hours. We'll come back to this. We'll take a look at this thing. What I'll do, actually, let me do this now. I'm going to commit this to GitHub just so I have a working copy of this. I know I'm not sharing my GitHub. Don't worry about that. We will call this bash course. Let me grab the explanation. We'll call it a work in progress. We shall make this public. Great repository. Awesome. Now initialize the repo over here. Initial commit. Awesome. And then I'll grab these commands from GitHub and we will post it. Cool. So now let's make sure this actually works. Awesome. Yes, it is on GitHub now. Here it is for anyone who's interested. Bahamas 10 is the username / bash course is literally just what it's called. I don't know why you'd be interested in this. This is a massive work in progress. I will tell you right now, anyone who's watching who's like, oh, I could help Dave out and make some pull requests. I'm not accepting pull requests at this time. I may accept pull requests in the future, but I'm not accepting them at this time. I'm going to be the one who works on this to make this course. Just letting you guys know. It's public just because, like, you know, hey, I worked on this publicly. If you want to see it, awesome. But I will not be accepting pull requests. I mean, if you have issues or whatever, feel free to raise them. But I'm not going to be accepting other people's code in this. Just letting you all know that right now. But yeah, so, yep. Let's see what we got going on here. Yo, my God, Alex B, thank you so much for the $10 super chat on YouTube. Dude, that's super nice. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. You don't have to donate. I appreciate it so much. But yeah, no, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Alex B says, hey man, thanks again. Can't wait to see the course. Need to learn this, and the way you explain stuff really helps. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I try my best to explain things and come up with analogies that can help people learn. I try to do it in a non-judgmental way too. Like, people just have different gaps in their knowledge, and everyone's at a different place in their knowledge. Like, I don't view like, oh, I'm like, this person's beyond this person. It's like, no, we all have different hills and valleys, and there's different holes that need to be plugged up when it comes to knowledge. So that's how I view it. And hopefully that comes across. I can also be judgmental, but hopefully, you know, I'm doing it like sarcastically. Yeah. So thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see what chat. I think I'm missing some chats here. Let's see. Important for people coming from Windows using PowerShell, the Unix philosophy that was mentioned. So you can, that's a good idea. Yes. When are you streaming again? Because I don't want to miss it. Hey, I appreciate you asking me. I have no idea. I don't have a schedule yet. So sorry. I have not committed to a schedule. I don't know when it will be. It will typically be around this time. I usually like to stream around 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the US. That's what I shoot for. But yeah, so sometime around then. Let's see. Thanks, stream. Yeah, thanks for stream. Good night. Yeah, thank you. Yo, appreciate it. Everyone, appreciate it. Thank you. You guys are awesome. You deserve it. That's what I love about this. Yo, appreciate it, man. Thank you. That's so awesome. NG Dev, first chat ever in Twitch says, not first chat ever, sorry, first chat in the Twitch. It tells me that when you're the first time chatter in Twitch. When is the course coming out? 2025. My public promise, even though this is public stream, my public promise is 2025. My promise to you guys is first half of 2025. My internal goal that I have set is May, June 2025. So in the next 3 to 4 months. That's my goal. I don't know if we'll hit that goal, but that's my goal. That is what I'm currently shooting for. So that's what we're going to try and do. Yeah, cool. So this thing is up. Awesome. I can check this out on other things. We actually got some pretty good. I'm happy with this. I'm very happy with this progress today. Let's see. First time catching the stream. Love the content. Can't wait for more. Yo, appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, welcome. Glad you stopped by. Will you announce when you're streaming somewhere, or is it just I'm gonna stream now? Typically, it's just I'm gonna stream now. If I do announce it, your best bet will be on my Discord. Link should be like in my bio or whatever. You might be able to, if you're in chat, do bang Discord. Does that work? That might work. The bot takes 8 years to respond. But usually it's just I'm gonna stream now. I'm not great at being a streamer. I'm not really a streamer. I consider myself more of a content creator who likes to just stream on the side. So maybe I'll get better. Maybe I'll have a schedule, but my life's pretty hectic sometimes. So yeah, that. Could you hit us with some cron and systemd scheduling in this course? Probably cron. Probably will go over cron. I don't know if I'm going to touch on System D stuff. I'll have to figure out how I feel about that. That one's tough. I don't love System D. But maybe that's just a personal bias I need to get over because it definitely seems to be everywhere. I'd also have to learn System D. I don't know anything about it. So, yeah. So yeah, I usually, if I go, I try to announce it on the Discord and stuff. Discord's, decently active. I'm not the best Discord community guy, so it's a pretty flat topology. Maybe it'd be cooler to focus more on the Discord. Maybe I'll look into actually getting someone who could run it. But for now, yeah, it's a cool place. Yep. So yeah, I think we're going to call it there. Thank you everyone for tuning in, yo. Appreciate it. Thank you again for the $10 super chat, man. That's super nice. I appreciate that. Stoked off your content, man. Yo, glad to hear it, dude. That's super awesome, man. Yeah, thank you everyone for stopping by, dude. Appreciate it. Super fun. Good vibes. We're chilling. Thanks, yo. 100%, man. Yeah, I'm trying to send a super chat, but apparently Google Play doesn't accept debit card. Feel in your heart. Dude, I feel your money in my heart. Thank you. Thank you so much, Daniel, for the heart money, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, don't. Sorry that it's annoying for you. But yo, I appreciate it, man. Even just the thought, super cool. Great day 62 of Advent of Code. Listen, I probably not yet. I want to focus on the course and make some headway there, but I may start throwing in some Advent of Code 2015. I might start going through the backlog of Advent of Code challenges because they're super fun, dude. I have super fun working on them. This is the most chill stream ever. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, and we get some music too. That's right. That's right. That's how I like to do things. Amazing stream, bro. Yo, thank you. I'm actually looking up something up real quick before I jump off. Because I think someone was saying, don't feel the need to do this. You don't have to, it's all free. Don't feel the need to pay for this. But I'm pretty sure someone told me it was Bandcamp Friday. I don't know if that's a thing you guys care about. So if you buy music off of Bandcamp, it's like 50% goes to something. I don't know. So if you guys are curious, I do make music on top of programming. I just came out with an album a couple weeks ago. It's instrumentals, ambient kind of music. So if that's your jam, go check it out. If you like Bandcamp stuff and you like buying stuff off Bandcamp, go check it out that way. It's all free. It's all totally free. You can go to my website and download it for free. It's on YouTube. Like, you don't have to pay for it. I'm pretty sure it's name your price. So do not feel the need to pay for it. But yeah, this one came out January 2025. So this month, or last month, literally came out with this album. My album from a year ago, it's actually less than a year ago, Nightfall. This is less ambient, but still music. So yeah, if you guys like music, go check it out. Link the Bandcamp. Yes, let me do that. I would personally recommend Nightfall over Fragments. More of a fan. But, yeah. So if anyone in chat is curious, there's a link to the Bandcamp. It's name your own price, pay what you want. Of course, it's on, it's on Spotify. It's on all that good stuff. 2021 was my last album before that called Inspired. Yeah, piano music, stuff like that. So I don't know how well this will sound, but it's going to go. It's going through my microphone. It's kind of scuffed, but Actually, wait, hold on. So yeah, that's a little teaser. If you guys like it, it's all free. Go check it out. Yeah, I think I'll call it there. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate it. It's awesome. Once again, thanks, man. Appreciate you doing this. People need to learn Bash and Linux and Unix. Yep, agreed. 100% agreed. Yep. So that's my goal. If you guys don't already know this, I post a lot on Instagram, and so go check me out there. I think if you're in my chats, you can just do Bang Socials, and that will give you a link to all that stuff. But yeah, I definitely post a lot on Instagram. That's where my biggest following is. A lot of fun stuff, a lot of stream clips, a lot of shit posting. So yeah, enjoy. All right, calling it there. Take